I thought you saw me when I said you're playing me, but apparently not.
Yeah.
I mean, we could slide this way a little bit if you want. We're in the process of printing it. So, before Christmas.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So when you get tokens, I rather buy them.
Yes. It'll be the next couple of weeks.
How's it going?
Good.
Yeah.
So, the artist that I think does them actually puts pretty friendly for a while. Yeah, actually, I brought some tokens down, the test ones down for him. So, yeah, I've got a couple of altars with me, but
yeah.
Let's forget over here, they have their own nice and crap.
Yeah. One spot they got.
I realized I actually do need
I left
tokens.
my whole box of dice on this.
I told her I didn't need it.
Had to come back and ask me to be.
Yes, Anderson.
That's funny.
It's like, oh yeah.
Does she play Magic or just?
Oh, she does.
Oh.
Yeah, she has a.
You want a high
Yeah,
roll?
did have a Legacy Affinity deck at one point.
Yeah, yeah.
But she plays a
11.
Shrews banner. That deck is very pretty.
Yeah.
She likes it.
Oh,
She hasn't altered a lot of the cards. There are
me and her might get along.
She has really pretty.
Yeah.
It's,
Okay, Pyro.
yes, sir. That's 4. First.
I mean, I go.
You got a 4.
Oh, I know. I was just seeing if I.
Oh, no, you're good. I was like, wait, what?
Wow. You guys trying to finesse you?
Yeah.
Mind games
You didn't
over
fall.
here.
You didn't fall into it. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Chops. Scarred me already with that.
I need these sleeves. See the sticky? Yep.
Those dragon shields?
Yes.
The old ones or new ones?
They're fusions. They're kind of old. I don't know.
Yeah.
I only buy the one type of sleeve, so they blend together.
Too.
Yeah. You gotta switch them to
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why, because I have like cards for every deck. So.
Can't even see the card.
Dang it. Oh, you're playing a different deck.
No, unfortunately. I have Mox Diamond.
That wrecked me last week.
Yeah, it's gonna wreck me today. Yeah, it's gonna wreck me right now.
On one, I was like, well, yeah.
Russ me, please.
Yeah. Come on. I have a lot of one drops.
We're good to start then?
Yeah.
Well, look at Shiny.
Sure.
Loveless. No.
Good luck, man.
Let's do constant.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Just gonna play that.
Go ahead.
God. Go ahead.
Take 2 again.
Yeah.
I'll mulligan spots.
3 monolith.
Oh.
Good. Sure thing.
Sliver tokens in 2017.
She's got like 60 something different tokens now, something like that. We're on the MTG Altars page.
That's cool.
My favorite is the absurd pile of turn tokens here. I was like, I don't know when you would ever need
skulls.
that many turns. You know,
When both players are playing Pauper Affinity.
Maybe, yeah.
She just expects everybody to have a bad school, is what it is.
I mean, it's definitely possible. We'll take another time.
Yeah.
I have 4 in here.
Yeah.
I'll keep mine.
Everyone ready? It's like 12.
Yeah, I'm going to PGC FNM.
That's significant.
Me too.
Okay, let's
Let's try as well.
Go ahead.
go ahead and pass.
I'm gonna keep it.
Okay.
Those.
Alright, I'm ready when you are.
That's right.
Sure.
Go.
Okay. Sure.
Now I'm going to press that.
Good old basic mountain.
Go ahead.
Attack for 1.
So, before you.
Go ahead, sir.
Now, exile Simeon Spirit.
Okay. Wasteland myself. Okay. Resolves.
That's activate camera. Searchmaster.
Yep, you're good. Alex, what's up? Sacrifice the water packs and we'll put it in there.
Sauce Venom. Sword Fire Next.
Fire next.
Turn.
Now.
Right.
There we go.
There we go.
How about that?
Can you guys hear us?
Man, we gave some amazing commentary on that on that game, and you guys didn't hear any of it.
Here comes the sword coming in.
They just before this, well, a few hours ago, they opened up some packs,
And
so
gotcha.
they had their audio on for that, and nobody told me.
For Iconic Masters.
Man, yeah, we broke down the entire game there. And really, like, we don't even need to really say anything else for the rest of the game.
Not
I think,
really. I think, it about summed it up.
OMG, no audio now. Is it fixed now? Okay, there we
Are
go.
we all good?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry. Let me check the audio here. Yeah, that one's okay. All right. So what's happening? Wait, we've got a fiery confluence.
Ooh.
A confluence of things. He can't hit the that sword with a fiery confluence. I haven't played a fiery confluence in quite some time.
You can hit the Noble Hierarch, though, which will do a decent amount. It probably will lock out the ensnaring bridge line eventually here. And it looks like Aaron's just going to scoop it up to that.
He played bridge and that was it? Or he
Just the
scooped to
fiery
bridge?
confluence,
Oh, yeah?
I believe, was enough to
Interesting.
get the concede there. Under double
Double blood moons.
double blood moon, it's going to be very hard to get anything onto the board there.
So confluence does let you target an artifact, and then you've got what would have you had left there? One hierarch, and that was it.
He would have had, I believe he went after the death right, the hierarch, and the sword. So he'd be left with one death right with not much food in the tank. So
All right, here's our backup match. We've got Calvanon Grixis Delver, a deck we've seen quite a bit of,
versus Mud.
some colorlessness.
There's a Koldatha Forge Master in play.
Look at all that. He's getting all of this fun stuff happening.
I see there's a Worm Coil in the graveyard. Looks like that Koldatha Forge Master's been active already, maybe.
And so, I mean, he put a Chalice on one against Delver, right? I think he won
It's
turn
pretty-
one, and
It's pretty good.
now it's
yeah.
just wrapping up here.
Yeah, this looks like a very hard spot to play through for Calvin.
But yeah, like, it looks like his hand is all just one drops, and
And you just pass the turn and take your beats, and it's over in about 4 turns.
it looks like Calvin's on a 4-color list as well now. Since he's got some swords in hand, and
I see that.
this is just
Switching
4-color,
it up a
like
little bit.
4-color
4-color
control,
day.
or yeah, we'll see what.
4 color or no color.
Yeah, just some lands is what he's
Yeah.
playing. He doesn't get to actually do anything else. Yeah, this is where you know what your deck list is,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
he doesn't have anything he can draw.
Yeah, I don't see. That looks like a Terminus, maybe.
Okay, so he's on a
So it
red,
might
white, blue.
be- Might be a Miracle.
Yeah,
Miracle
or,
list.
or an American.
Or
right?
American.
Yeah. So,
That looks to be enough, yeah.
like, if he was on 4-color, there could have been Colligan's Command or
For
something,
sure.
but
yeah.
call it this for now. All right, we're into the shuffle phase of round 1. I guess we can update some clicking here. Ryan with Mud, Chalice on 1 gets game 1, and our other match, Kevin on
Blood Moon.
Red Prison.
Yeah, Red Prison.
Typing. He got it game 1. The prison decks did their thing. All right. So we've got some 3 rounds of Legacy for you tonight, which is fabulous because 4 rounds on Tuesdays, which is when I'm normally here. 4 rounds is a long time to be commentating on Magic.
3 rounds, I think it's just about right.
Yeah. So this is your second time. This is your second Friday.
Second Friday.
Are you enjoying it?
So far, so good. I really love it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I haven't thrown too many bad puns at you.
I'm a sucker for bad puns. So.
Prison. How about let's throw some extra eyes in there. There we go. Back to the shuffle phase. Jorgensen, you spoke briefly about my bad audio. What are you up to tonight, sir? Maybe we lost him.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe he couldn't hear us, and it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. Are you implying? No. Well, normally you say more than what was it? What a shame, and that's it. That's it. So I think we missed all of this because our audio was off.
Yeah.
But we, Matt here and I, just did a draft, an Iconic Masters draft. We only had time for 1 round, though, so we did a 1-round draft. It was fabulous.
It was great.
I managed to draft. I started off with a Hellkite. I took a foil Hellkite over an Avacyn.
Your deck looked amazing. Double Bogarden Hellkite, 1
Double,
foil, 1
double
not.
Hellkite, 4 Foul Tongue Invocations.
Yeah.
It was a dragon constructed deck, and it won my 1 round.
There you go. Now I drafted.
Yeah, I got you, Jorgensen. I follow.
I drafted kind of a smaller strategy, I had
I didn't get to see it.
some +1/+1 counters and an Aether Vial theme.
The Vial.
So
And the +1/+1 counters
Yeah.
is a thing in this. There's some strong between Outlast, which can just win, whether it's first strike, flying, or lifelink, and then there's things that just put counters on everything.
and just some phantom creatures as well, which are quite
just
strong.
come in with
Yeah.
counters, right? It's great. There's some really cool different synergies that weren't in some of the other Eternal or Master sets.
Definitely.
But when you just have all of the removal and your
Yeah.
opponent doesn't get to do anything, it's kind of rude.
Seems good.
Kind of rude. I don't think this is going to happen again.
I think there were a lot of bounce lands going later.
Oh
than
yeah.
expected in
They're normally a pretty high pick.
Yeah.
They pretty much net you a card, right? Play land and draw a card.
Right,
That's kinda
exactly.
What they say. And we had a lot of red.
There was, yeah. I kind of felt red was underdrafted. It seemed like most of it was making its way to you, so you had.
But the player next to me on my left had 3 dragons himself, 3 red
and
dragons.
even I was splashing red for a heat ray and a pillar flame. So
I had an extra pillar flame and 2 extra heat rays.
Yeah,
I
there
didn't
you
have
go.
room for.
Yeah.
Here we go.
all right,
Game 2.
Death Right in play.
It looks the same.
Pretty much.
This is what we did.
Same start
We'll
so
just
far.
We'll just apply our amazing audio commentary
There
to
we go.
this game as well. And then
It
we-
looks like there's a Trinisphere on the other side in hand for Kevin there.
these prison
He might
decks.
be able to turn one that if he wants to. There's an Ancient Tomb.
Yeah,
Looks like here it comes.
sure.
So everything that Aaron plays has to cost at least 3.
And the mistake there is that he's got a Chromox in hand, and maybe he didn't want to play it.
Interesting. I wonder if he was using the Trinisphere to kind of bait and wasn't really sure if it would resolve or not. Hard to say.
And maybe it's just he's got too many lands to get that Chromox.
Yep.
He doesn't want to waste something.
Definitely. No fetches on Aaron's side, so Deathrite comes in for 1 damage.
Which is the death wrong way to use that card.
Exactly.
This is a fully original joke. Nobody's ever heard that before. No one. I've never said it or anybody else. Yeah. He maybe just didn't want to burn. I can't tell what it is. That 1 red card. The newest one he just drew is a Fiery Confluence, but the one that he would have had to pitch
Yeah,
to
I can't
Chromox.
quite tell.
It'll be a surprise.
It almost looks like a Molten Vortex,
Yeah.
but that would be quite spicy.
Could be. I've had that card thoroughly defeat me before. And when you're sitting behind Ensnaring Bridge, that's not a bad choice, right?
There you speak of the devil. There it is. Snaring Bridge comes down. Not too much of a factor quite yet, but later in the game.
When you don't have
couple
any other
turns.
plays, might as well get it down now, right?
In your 18 land non-loam deck. Yeah, exactly.
Sideboard?
I've seen crazier things. I really have. Rolling Earthquake might be it. Hard to tell.
I don't know.
You know, a bunch of those.
It was red.
Those red cards have kind of a similar burning look to them on
Yeah.
the side and a lot of those different cards. Deathrite's just getting some beats in.
Smash. Just what you want to do if you're the 4-color blade player. We haven't seen. It looks like he's got a Jace in hand, but he can't. He doesn't have any mana from Death
Yeah.
Shaman. That's weird. All right, Matt. What is your deck of choice in Legacy?
The deck I used to play is no longer viable. Hasn't been viable for a long time. But the deck I used to play was Cephalid Breakfast.
Okay.
Old combo
Yeah,
deck.
yeah.
Yep.
It's
And-
still viable.
Deathrite does a good number on keeping that from being a working combo.
Sure.
But for those who don't know, Cephalid Breakfast was a combo deck where you would play a Cephalid Looter, I believe it was, and a End-Core creature.
Mhm.
And you could target your Cephalid Looter for free, milling your entire library into your graveyard, then use Dread Return to get back Sky Hussar and Kiki Jiki and combo people out.
Yeah, and so there's still a deck out there that does something a little differently now, where you're trying to win with a Laboratory Maniac there, right?
Sure,
Now?
yeah. Yeah, there's a couple different things.
But it's definitely
similar
tier
to that. but-
3. I'm trying to do this
Exactly.
one fun
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Don't make it so I don't get to.
Definitely.
I don't know if it's as good as what was I playing? Nick's Fit online.
Nick's Fit.
It's actually, it was pretty strong. It was a Nick Fit deck where you're using Rector to sacrifice to get some.
I think I saw you playing that. It had, what was it? Not Eldritch Evolution, Evolutionary Leap.
Yeah.
To get those Academy Rectors,
Right.
sack them, and yeah.
And I was playing it poorly and
town.
doing okay with it. So if I knew what I was doing, it might be a
there you go.
possible deck.
Abrupt Decay comes down on the Ensnaring Bridge.
It was very quickly.
Yeah.
It was abrupt.
And that bridge just crumbled.
There you go. There you go. It decayed very, very quickly. Matt's just jumping right in there with me for all of this silliness. See, what's great is way back when I started this, everybody's like, "Oh, your puns, they're so good." Now I just have the same puns.
Yeah.
Suddenly they're not so good anymore when Jorgensen's heard the same ones every week.
I think that means Jorgensen's got to up his pun game.
Oh. I don't know.
Give us some new ones.
What do we got the Friday crowd here? What is a Friday? We're on a low number of Friday. Everybody's out playing. Everybody wanted to.
There is that GP coming up in Portland
Portland
for the weekend, so a lot of people might be out and about. I know we've got a couple people out there. Kyre's out there.
This is pretty
and
good.
Patrick's out there too.
True Name Nemesis is a pretty good answer here.
Yeah, True Name coming down. Oh, and what is that card?
It's a time spiral card.
Is it a What is that?
He played it instant speed, whatever it is.
Is it Volcanic Fallout
Maybe.
with weird art?
Jorgensen, what is it?
How about a nice game of chess? Yeah, Volcanic Fallout
2 damage to each creature and player,
cannot be prevented.
and can't be countered.
So
True Name lives as it has
Name,
protection.
Yeah, True Name doesn't really care.
Yep. That's the one bad thing about all of the red wrath effects, right? Is
Definitely.
protection keeps them alive, whereas a Wrath of God or Damnation or something there, or even a Toxic Deluge. Uh-oh.
Red Vines.
Oh, I'm on board, Jorgensen. Yeah. I don't know where you're getting. I mean, I know the movie, but I don't know what you're referring to the quotes from.
Fiery Confluence comes down. I think it's all going at the face.
We don't have Red Vines today. We do have a couple
We
iconic
do.
Masters packs to crack open. Oh, the pun game. There you go.
Pun game.
Man, I haven't seen war games in quite some time. Most of our viewers probably have no idea what you're talking about, Jorgensen.
I think I have no idea what you're talking about.
I started quoting it to my wife, and she's like, "What are you talking about?" Like, you haven't? Okay. Yeah, you need to go watch War Games if you haven't seen it. It's
I'll check it out. So it looks like second Ensnaring Bridge, and there comes a Spirit Guide, I think. I can't tell. There's a Chrome Mox and another artifact card in hand.
Uncultured Swine. Yeah, Riley. Hello, sir.
Hi,
Welcome.
Riley. Nice to see you. Welcome to another Legacy.
It's always great
Yeah.
when the Simian Spirit Guide just comes down as a 2/2.
2/2.
Here I am. We did change today. Kyre is up in Portland. Matt here is going to be doing Fridays for the near future, right?
Yep. Pretty consistently.
With Kyre. So I'm just filling in. A wall deck in Iconic. You can make a pretty
you could
sweet
definitely
wall deck
make a wall deck.
and just win.
Yeah. You can
Between-
do it two ways. You can either do it the damage route or you can do it the mill route.
Yeah, or both.
Yeah, or both.
It's possible. You can actually go 4 color in theory with.
You
There's a
could.
white enchantment that gives something defender, right?
Sure. Yeah, there is. Oh,
True Name.
it looks like
True Name
gets
gets there.
there.
It did what True Names do. It won.
True Name really doesn't care about Trinisphere, as it turns out.
Yeah. And getting to Abrupt Decay, The
bridge,
bridge is what
yeah.
did it, right?
Exactly.
All right, so we're going to jump back to this other match where Ryan won game 1.
It looks like there is.
It looks
a
like he's
Steel
about to win
Hellkite.
game 2.
Trinisphere and Anugan with 9 counters on it in play. Oh man, this is looking like a rough spot to be.
He's better as a streamer. Who's better as a streamer? What'd I miss? Just Kyre in general. I like it. Just laying it out there. He's cold because
Yeah.
it's Riley cold. Did he beat Brian one too many times? That's all right. That's all right. I'm glad you like Kyre. He's here. He's
You know,
streaming a lot.
I think Kyre really enjoys streaming
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
I think,
This is kind of his thing.
yeah.
I just join him on Tuesdays and fill in on the occasional Friday, and make a lot of bad mistakes on Magic Online occasionally as well. Steel Hellkite,
Coming in.
man.
A wear tear.
Ooh. I don't think Ugin really cares about this. I think
So he can't hit it from the
and
Greaves.
assault formation. Yeah. All right. So Mud wins.
Mud wins pretty convincingly.
Yeah. And I think that Calvin's playing a deck that he hasn't maybe played very much before, but because he's a strong
Yeah,
player.
it looks pretty different from what he's been on the past little bit. He must
Right.
have gotten tired of the Grixis Delver.
of winning.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is probably not the deck you want to play if you're trying to cast Brainstorm and Ponder and they
Definitely.
just get to lock you out.
Turn 1 Chalice, what can you do?
All right, so we'll jump back here to these guys shuffling with their very cool playmats, where it's 1 and 1, and they both have red sleeves.
They do. Sleeve mirror match.
Aaron's got on a very Christmassy sweater. You lost versus a Vorinclex. That's rude. See, what you do, Pew Pew, is you just do the 1 round draft.
Yeah,
And then if
One
you
and
win
done.
the first game, you feel really good.
it's all good.
Yeah.
And
Matt
if
and I
you lose
both
the
won.
first one, you get to go draft again.
That's actually, I might be trying to convince more people to do this. So let's just draft and not play Magic. Can we do that? Is that all right with everybody? It worked out really well. Brian here at Paragon said, yeah, we'll just do the same prizes. So we did. It was a pack if you lost and 2 packs of Iconic if you won.
If you won,
So
yeah.
it's as if I went 2 and 1, and
There you
that's
go.
great. All right.
All right.
We're going to have Kevin here on the play. Looks like he's got all the
And
Chalice.
Chalice on 1.
all the chalices.
Okay. Brainstorm, Force of Will.
Chalice ate that, or force, yeah,
Yep.
whatever it did. And suddenly Kevin's hand looks not so good.
Yeah, not quite what you want to see off of that. And here comes the Death Right. Same play that we've seen every game for the past 2.
This is a
Minus the Force
Chandra
of
in his
Will.
hand?
Yeah, that looks like a Chandra.
Like 4 mana Lorwyn Chandra, is that?
Lorwyn was 5. I think that might be Chandra Pyromaster. We'll find out pretty soon. Oh, it's getting pitched under.
It's gone. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
there you go. It turned into mana for
Yeah,
Chrome
Yeah,
Mox.
it taps for mana.
M14
M14
Chandra.
Chandra, yeah.
And here comes a
Ooh.
Koth.
Here we go.
Turn 2 Koth.
Never mind. His hand was better than I thought it was. I didn't realize he had a Koth in hand.
So Koth's probably going to uptick here. See if we see a Mountain getting in for 4. Can't.
Yeah,
because it has Summoning Sick.
Yeah, the 4 mana Chandra. There we go. You can't really hate on 2 and 1 Pew Pew,
For sure.
especially if you get 2 Iconic Masters packs out of the deal.
Exactly.
That's how your draft worked out.
You know, it's kind of a little bit high risk, high reward, but
Yeah. You get to draft, and then you get to play like a little lottery
You know,
game afterwards.
I think that drafting is the more exciting part.
Oh yeah.
I really enjoy the drafting element.
Brainstorm for Aaron. He might be looking for a land. That's what he might be doing. Oh, looks like he's
Looks
found.
like
he's
he
got
found
plenty.
a fetch.
There it is. Yeah, look at that. Chandra, a Pyromaster that doesn't matter at all. It just got exiled. It doesn't say that on the card anymore, does it? Exile this card, tap for red.
It's a hidden ability.
It partners with this card called Chrome Mox. Or it.
So I think if Aaron can deal with that Koth, though, there's not much backup going on for Kevin. But most of Aaron's cards don't deal with a resolved 4-mana Planeswalker.
Yeah, cube is fun. Cube feels weird though. Kyra here has a cube, right?
Yes.
And we've drafted it a couple times. But it's weird to like go 2-1 or 3-0 and then kind of like walk away like,
Right.
well, that was fun, thanks guys. Well, I didn't get any prizes. There's always this moment afterwards where, wait a minute.
Here comes that 4/4 in this turn.
He's only got the one mountain, so if Aaron can kill it, suddenly there goes half of Koth's abilities, right?
There goes a little bit of Koth's effectiveness.
Aaron goes down to some amount of life, maybe 11. His dice is just off screen.
Yeah, I think what Aaron's really looking to see is a true name to get kind of things rolling on his side at some point.
Just start charging people. Yeah, we actually talked about that, and making. But I don't need a prize. It just feels weird.
Sure.
It's fun enough to play cube and actually get to
Cube's
play.
rewarding enough on its own. You don't need it.
But when you do well with it, like,
For sure.
I won.
Yeah. I think it encourages people to go for more outlandish strategies.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing on the line, so you might as well go for something sweet.
Sure. Force your opening, pick one, pack one.
Exactly.
Is this a main phase Deathrite activation?
That's what it looks like to me. It's hard to say. Could be an end of turn.
Man, those playmats are still getting to me. There's so much going on.
End of turn.
That was end of turn. Okay, makes sense. Deathrite is severely handicapped in that it can't target planeswalkers.
Yes.
It's like, why does even anybody play the card?
It's only a Squire with a couple of abilities on it for 1 mana.
Yeah.
It's only banned from Modern.
It feels pretty bad when, the card should do everything, and it almost does.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's not blue, so.
Sometimes it feels like it is. Yeah. We were at end of turn there. All right.
We caught up to you, Riley.
Aaron's going to fetch. Finds a very
Basic
cool arena forest.
Arena forest.
Yeah, I don't have any arena forests. Those are pretty
Me
cool.
neither.
Yeah, you gotta love the delay. It's fun. It makes it feel like you have to type really quick so that you can get in the info before we've moved on, right? At least that's how I feel. And here's your 3-drop.
Let's see. Here comes that true name.
Just like you said.
Yep.
It's very true.
I think that's going to put Aaron in a pretty good spot here. Those 4/4 mountains don't have trample.
Fiery Confluence can deal, 6 damage to him by
6
itself?
damage.
So... Blood Moon makes...
Looks like there's Spirit Guide, Blood Moon, Fiery Confluence, and
Yeah,
Chrome
I think you just jam Blood Moon here, you make Aaron have to attack with the true name eventually.
Yeah.
And then you've got a mountain you can turn in and Fiery Confluence eventually, and that's the line, right?
The thing about Blood Moon is it does turn off the Ancient Tomb, which puts you further away from Confluence.
Yeah, but he's got a Spirit Guide in hand. That's mana 4.
I guess an interesting line is that since Blood Moon does turn things into mountains, that makes more for Koth's Ultimate.
Yeah.
And also gives you more for Koth's minus ability, which might get you up to Confluence range.
He's deciding here. He's running through all of these things, or he's thinking about something completely different.
Sometimes it makes sense just to double check and make sure that things are the way that you think they are, and then think about what he can have.
I actually do not know Kevin's list. I have not seen his list before. I was surprised by the Pyromancer as well.
You know, not used to seeing that Chandra used.
But I mean, it just taps for red. So
Yeah. Hidden ability.
I'm used to sitting here, so I keep like leaning this way to every time I notice I'm not in the picture. So sorry, guys. Here we go. Eventually, he's going to have to make a decision.
This looks like Chrome Mox is probably going to come down. I think you're right. That Blood Moon has to come and play before anything really happens here. It's just whether or not you want to play a Chrome Mox. Looks like he is. I don't know if confluencing this turn really does much of anything. Doesn't seem that way.
I think Blood Moon's the play.
Yeah. So now I think if True Name comes at Koth, that might be a mistake.
Yeah. So now True Name has to kind of sit back on blocking duty.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Kevin only has one card in hand, but that one card can deal 6 damage.
It'll be very interesting to see if Aaron plays around that or not. He's seen Confluence before in the list, but I'm not sure if he's going to play around it here or not.
Moonwalker Stompy. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. You know, the Planeswalkers often can be hard to deal with, especially when they come down really early.
Definitely. And Pyromaster's not bad against, say, like a resolved Monastery Mentor. You can pick away some of those tokens without doing too much.
We had a Jorgensen say everything in it. You can +1 to deal 1 damage to target player and up to 1 creature, or you can 0 to get card advantage, where you can exile the top card and you can play it. And then you can -7.
Okay, so Koth
Play sorceries.
Koth turned into an emblem, which is going to allow 2 pings currently per turn.
You could say it's emblematic for Aaron.
It might be problematic for Aaron.
Yeah, that usually gets it done.
Yeah, I think the clock's probably not going to be enough off of the True Name here to keep up.
Yeah. The -7 can just win, right? On a Chandra.
Definitely.
Bing! Down to
Ping end of turn.
12? Okay, so
Looks
he
like
had a
12
little
to
bit more
11.
life than I thought he did.
And that looks like a second confluence.
Yeah.
That should be
All the confluences
pretty
is-
good, although there's only 4 mana in play currently.
Yeah, it costs 4.
It costs 4.
Yeah.
Ah, I thought it cost 5.
Yep.
Much better. There we go.
Arg! Wait a minute. When did Kyre become everybody's favorite? Man. Kyre is in GP Portland. He's going to be playing Magic instead of talking to all of us about Magic.
Pretty sure he's on 4-color energy as well.
Because it's standard, and
Yeah.
that's just silliness. I don't know why you'd want to. You have to play the same format of standard for the whole 2 days if you make day 2. That sounds.
Yeah, that's a lot of standard.
It sounds like a O2 drop. Go play some side events to
events.
me. Right?
Side events are pretty awesome at GPs.
Yeah, they've started costing more and more money though, so that makes them a little less more awesome. For a little while, they were quite affordable, and so you could go and not even play in the GP and
Sure.
just play side events, and you could go all day.
It's 4 damage coming in.
With the Fiery Confluence is the one, because if you ultimate Chandra,
All the death rights in play here. 3 death rights on the board, and I just don't think it's going to matter. Here comes probably another confluence to the face for Aaron, and then I think Aaron's 1 damage short. Assuming this isn't lethal.
that was a mountain now, so I should do it.
That should do it. unless we see a counter here. Doesn't look like.
Maybe.
Activating. Swordsing his own true name nemesis to gain life.
Just how you drew it up.
Yeah.
There's no
Staying
creatures in
alive.
the graveyard, so there wasn't anything to death right and gain life that way with. Even though he's got a basic forest.
Staying alive.
All the creatures so far have been exiled.
But
Yeah.
that does cut off his clock in return.
Oh
And
yeah.
he's still facing down a Koth emblem.
He doesn't have any black mana to tap because of the Blood Moon, but he can just attack for 3.
Can attack for 3. That's still going to be a 3-turn clock as it sits currently.
Yeah, so he's got a Leovold in hand and a Savannah. I believe it's a Savannah. He can't cast the Leovold through a Blood Moon here. He doesn't. There's not enough lands and graveyards to make that happen. So there's not really a choice to be made with what's in his hand. It's either attack or don't attack.
And he correctly makes the choice to attack.
I guess you could leave a blocker back.
Let's see if that ping comes in, doesn't forget about it, and that's enough to seal the deal. So, Red Prison takes it 2-1, and that should do it for round 1.
We're gonna jump back here to Matt and I.
There we go.
We've got. Let's see. Our round started. We don't have very much time. So.
I know what I want to do. One pack.
Are you starting us off? You start us off.
One pack of Iconic
You
Masters.
gotta get the whole thing on camera though.
Okay.
This is Iconic Master release day, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is what
Iconic
happens.
Masters pack.
What is we got this blue thing blocking everything. There we go. Something amazing. They've already opened a foil mana drain in store earlier today.
So, we've got a token, which is Spirit Token, 1/1 flying. And we'll stick these two off down
you
here.
peeked at him. Nah.
And we'll
A
take
bunch
a
of
look
cards
at
that
the
would have
rest of
been
the
good in
cards,
draft, but you don't need otherwise.
Yeah, we've got a Jace's Phantasm.
That's actually really strong.
We've got
It's a common.
Dragon Egg. And Emerge Unscathed.
Which is surprisingly
Pretty good. Gain protection with Rebound. Yeah.
I don't think I'd make my cut of whatever deck we're imagining here.
Amass the components. Draw 3, put 1 on the bottom of your library.
Okay. Amass those components, guys.
Yeah. Unfortunately, sorcery speed. Bala Ged Scorpion.
Jorgensen, your keyboard is driving me nuts. I guess.
Nantuko Shaman.
Sure.
I love cards that draw cards.
Yeah.
Balustrade Spy.
It's a good time.
Blinding Mage.
Might be one of the better white commons in the set.
It's not bad. Moonglove Extract.
That one's
3 mana,
tough.
2 damage.
That's one of those that, like, it makes the deck and then you draw it and you don't really want it.
Yeah, I don't know about that card. Crown Surtok. Sanguine Bond.
Oh, at uncommon.
At uncommon. Dragon Loft Idol. Carven Caryatid.
Yeah, for your wall deck. That thing's great. If you go red-green walls and you just win with it.
And we have a foil Moonglove Extract.
Oh, the foiling process in this is pretty sweet.
It is a
These
very
foils look
nice foil. Yeah.
A lot of the cards look really good.
And our rare is Charmbreaker Devil.
Okay, so this thing, I played in a draft last night. My opponent plays Draconic Roar, the 3 damage if you have a dragon, 3 damage to an opponent as well, right? Fireball, and then he gets Charmbreaker Devils down.
Ooh.
So he's got a 6 mana that's attacking for 8, and he's getting back a Fireball every turn for like 50-50 chance. I lost is what happened there.
Yeah, that'll
Charmbreaker, you read it, and no, so you play Fireball. It goes to the graveyard. You get to play Fireball again next turn.
For sure, yeah. I remember playing this card when it was in the draft format. What was Innistrad draft format?
Sure. Yeah. Sounds right.
And it was pretty good there. Only like about half the time you'd hit what you wanted to hit, and the other half you'd hit just kind of chaff in your deck. But
Well, and now you can successfully build a red deck where it's almost all creatures and just a couple really strong instants of sorceries.
definitely.
All right, we have players sitting down for round 2. That's the best part about those games that go just a little bit long.
More legacy action.
We're going to have Terry versus Kevin. And maybe. And Ryan versus Taylor. So we have 14 players playing Legacy tonight. We have a pretty full room considering there are players that are that went up to Portland and stuff. So normally for Friday Night Magics, we get upwards of 71 players playing constructed formats.
For sure.
And okay, here we go. Terry versus TJ. Almost there, guys. Almost there. In fact, I'm just going to let you watch what we're watching here as these players get seated. So we don't have Kevin versus Aaron this time. This is TJ here on our left. And TJ has been on Sultai. I'm not sure if he's been on a Sultai control deck or a Sultai like more of a Sultai true name mid-range.
Gotcha.
We'll find out. And Terry, we saw Terry last week. I don't remember what he was playing. So we will discover that.
We'll find out when
We'll be
you folks
in the
do.
discovery phase here. And our other match, we're going to have
Ryan versus Taylor.
Ryan on Mud. Now this might be a Mud versus Mud matchup.
The Mud Mirror.
Which I'm not sure. Let's find out. Okay, while these guys are shuffling, let's show you here what's happening here. This really might be
a Thought Knot Seer down, so it looks like it might be.
I think he's
it
playing
might
a
be Mud versus Mud.
Yeah, I think he's playing a Mud list as well. Just what you expected. Just what you expected here.
I think that Trinisphere is not going to be nearly as good as Ryan had it last round.
Right? So an early Thought Knot series is going to be great. Lodestone Golem is going to come down as well. So maybe that's what he's going to take. Oh, he's going to take one of the Forge Masters. Lodestone. Okay, so he doesn't have the mana to cast the Lodestone here.
Correct. He needs one more land to really get going on anything here, and he's going to be under a pretty quick clock from that Thought Knot Seer as well as from his own Ancient Tomb.
Yeah, the person that gets 4 mana first kind of wins, right? in
Definitely.
these matchups.
And that looks to be Taylor this game.
Where is Kyer? I don't know. Kyer, something about Portland. I don't remember. DJT 5280. Thanks for the follow. 6 mana. That's not fair. 6 mana on turn 3.
6 mana on turn 3
Doesn't
into
even
his
need
own
it.
Lodestone,
Yeah.
and I think that's going to probably do a good job of locking out Ryan effectively here.
F711 Kyer is in GP Portland. He'll be playing tomorrow. Some standard. Along with Patrick and Alton are there as well. Staff of Domination it doesn't do much dominating when it's in your hand.
No, not when you're taking 8 a turn as well.
Yeah.
And now Ancient Tombs are pretty well shut off. I think this is all but the writing on the wall.
We're gonna give this one. We're gonna give this one to Taylor here.
Let's see.
Try not to be shanghaied. Is that what's happening? a mirror something. It's a mirror. What is this card called? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
It's a mirror of some sort. Lets you copy.
Lets you copy any permanent.
Yeah.
Any enchantment, artifact, land, or creature.
F711. Now you have seen a Mud versus Mud matchup. One of the Mud players is going to win.
So Taylor's build is probably running Dark Depths then.
I don't think so.
Because that mirror allows you to create a Dark Depths token.
All right, here's
free.
here's what we were gonna show you.
All right.
Let's see if I can find the mirror. Mirage mirror.
Mirage
You already
mirror,
found it.
there
You
you
beat
go.
me.
We got a couple basics on TJ's side, and a Deathrite that got swords. Here comes a Wasteland. Targeting Tundra.
Oh, I pull up a French version. Perfect. Just what? Why?
Le
Why?
Mirage Mirror.
Why does it even have a French version? I'm in French mode here. What the weird? Sorry, guys. I must have misspelled it. I didn't know that was a thing that I could even do. There we go.
Artifact, creature, enchantment, or land until end of turn.
That's cool. I didn't think
It's
about
a
that.
very
with
cool
Dark
card.
Depths.
Yeah. Yeah, so that would become a Dark Depths copy without any counters on it, and you can sack it immediately and get your 20/20.
It's an artifact version of Thespian Staging too. Costs a similar amount to do stuff.
Definitely. There's a lot of other plays that you can do with that as well.
Yeah.
So who knows if he's actually
Good with Phyrexian Dreadnought too. Yeah, look. Wait a minute. It looks awful, and now suddenly, wait a minute. Now it's looking better. If you like Phyrexian Dreadnought, everything looks good with Phyrexian Dreadnought. I could make that work with my Dreadnought deck. I could not lose to Fatal Push. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
no, I mean, I could lose to Fatal,
Fatal
Push.
Push and Tragic Slip. I love that you can push a Dreadnought or you can trip a Dreadnought. So this Snapcaster is just getting pretty aggressive in there. I saw it come down in response to the Wasteland from TJ on Terry's Tundra.
So Terry most likely is just on a blue-white control, right?
Most likely.
If you're running Tundra alongside Basic Island and Snapcaster, that's probably what we're seeing here. We'll tentatively put that on here. Whoa.
Here comes a Leovold.
Yeah, that's
And
he's
I
got a
I think you have to force here.
Stoneforge Mystic in his blue-white deck here, alongside Supreme Verdict. So it's something.
Here comes Forrest looking at what to pitch, thinking about. There goes Supreme Verdict.
When you have one land, your verdict is kind of far away.
Seems about right. Now, if Terry does get a second blue source, he does have a counterspell in hand, and hopefully he'd be able to claw back into control, as it were.
Oh yeah, he's also got a spell pierce in hand as well. So he's not. He's got some choices.
Some play. As much play as you can have on one land.
Right? Yeah, more than one.
But if TJ manages to land another Leovold here, that would be a big swing in TJ's favor.
All right, it's a Jace.
Jace gonna eat that spell
Yep.
pierce.
Bye, Jace. We saw him briefly. Snapcasters, we don't have any life idea. I don't know why.
No idea. Hard
why
to say.
players like to just move the dice completely off the table so we can't even see them. Terry here is using pen and paper, so we have no idea.
I'd imagine TJ's getting pretty low off of those Snapcaster hits, though. I'd say he's probably close to
Instead of
around
12 or so.
12-ish.
Yeah. Maybe he's taking 4 hits from it, and a couple fetches.
That Volcanic's big as it allows access to that counter spell.
Yeah, just single Snapcaster might get there.
Might. Ambush Viper for the win. Here comes a Tarmogoyf. I think that's going to probably eat a counter.
You kind of have to here. It's bigger than your Snapcaster.
And unfortunately, Volcanic Island is not Tundra, which means those Stoneforge Mystics are trapped inside Terry's hand.
We'll just call it
Blue, white, red. white, red blade. So Tarmogoyf enters the graveyard. And lastly, we have a Thoughtseize. So we get to see all those white cards and another Snapcaster, which I assume will be the pick.
The foil Thoughtseize.
Yeah, foil Thoughtseize.
That's pretty cool.
Now, which Thoughtseize art do you like better?
Oh, I like the original Little Orwin one.
Definitely. And
that's
that's
easy.
the art that they used in Iconic
Yeah,
Masters
yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Which feels kind of bad, actually, to me. It's like the
Do you think they should use
original Tarmogoyf is never going to get reprinted, right, in the future frame, so it's unique in
Right.
the original. I think it would have been kind of nice if the Lorwyn, but it was also getting sillily expensive for a foil if
Yeah.
you wanted one. As soon as the foil version gets to times 10 the value of a regular one, maybe
Fair
it's time to reprint it.
Whoa, here's something you don't see very often. Garrick Relentless?
Yeah, because we're getting close to FTV Transform, so
Wow.
you have to play this card.
Well, here comes a transformed Planeswalker coming in after dealing with that ambush Viper of a Snapcaster.
We've got some reading happening here. So, he was briefly relentless.
He was.
It wasn't very long. He quickly dealt some damage to that Snapcaster.
And now he's got
And
the
flipped
taste
over.
of blood in his mouth.
Now
and
he's very
transforms.
veil
Now
cursed.
he's very dead, as a lightning bolt off
Well,
the top will take
for a
him out.
brief moment, he was veil cursed.
It's a pity that came off the top right there, because those 1/1 Death Touchers, I think, would have had quite
Oh yeah,
an impact on
Yeah.
the board. For Terry, however, I think Lightning Bolt's the perfect card to see.
it
in
was
that.
a 4-mana kill a Snapcaster is what
Exactly. Likely, though, that probably bought TJ a lot of time.
it was. All right, I think you go for Ponder here.
Looks that way.
Yeah,
Makes
Snapcaster's
sense.
a Ponder. Tries to find some action. Ooh, Wasteland's pretty nice.
Yeah. Wasteland could be all right.
It's not brilliant. Like, you get rid of the red
Like-
source, but he's needing to draw into white anyway.
I'm not sure. Not sure if that's enough. Looks like he's going to keep that on top. Tried to get some Snapcaster value of his own in here, beaten back the other way.
Mhm.
And there's a Tarmogoyf, and that's much stronger of
Yeah.
a clock right now.
That might just, there's a cool Goyf Rocks thing we're calling them. The little dice counter that they have here for sale at Paragon.
I've seen those.
Keeping track of how big Goyf is. It's just small enough that we can't quite see it on camera, though. All right. Terry gets a brainstorm.
Planeswalker instant
No,
sorcery land
no lands.
creature.
When you have no lands on top of your brainstorm, you lose. That's what happens.
Yep.
All right, so TJ takes that one down. Let's see if our Mud versus Mud action is already over. Mud won.
Mud 1.
Probably Taylor took that 2-0 because they're already done.
That would be my guess.
They finished their 2 games before these guys finished 1 game.
Very, very quickly. And, at the end of the day, it comes down to, can you get to that 4 mana before your opponent?
Right.
So, very, very capable of landing a turn 1 or 2 Thought Not Seer and just running away.
And then there's a lot of cards that you don't want to, that you could side out.
Exactly.
Right? I'm not sure if you can side out Chalices and Trinispheres and.
I don't know if there's enough. I don't know if you
I
can
don't
bring in
think-
enough.
I don't think so. But there might be something spicy in their side, right?
For sure.
That could come in. Let's get rid of Garuk here. We can take a peek and see what, at least what Terry's doing in his sideboard here, what he's taking out. Almost a card. Engineered Explosives coming out. Okay.
Okay.
Gideon. And now I don't know his deck list, so I'm not sure what I would or wouldn't take out of
Yeah.
his list.
Hard to say. It depends on what he has to bring in, how he thinks the game's going to go post sideboard, and whether he has something that really goes strongly against
Yeah,
TJ.
right.
I'm not really sure. Some of those seem pretty pretty generic, like blue-white style cards, like the Gideon and the like. But it might be a bit too slow.
Yep. Blood Moon can be really good against Sultai. It also can be mediocre. That's Blood Moon, though.
Sure.
If you get it down, if the timing's right, you just win because you played it. And if a player's fetching around it and has basics to fetch for, or gets a death right down like the one game we saw, round 1, it just doesn't really win the game, right? Readers, losers. That's what you say in Brazil, huh?
I like it.
He read Garuk and then he killed it, and he did end up losing.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here in Brazil, we say. All right. I kind of want to play the second round of my draft with my dragon deck. Kind of sad that I only get to do. I mean, it was really nice that we played a 1-round draft, right?
Yeah.
But when you draft something pretty
When it's
cool,
really spicy, you just want to keep going with it, don't you?
I want to see how good it actually was. It was a good time. I just destroyed all the creatures for like 9 turns, and then played a Hellkite.
Gain a bunch of life off of your foul tongue invocations.
Yeah, it worked.
Show them what's coming with the Hellkite every time.
I think there's
I still have this Hellkite in hand.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 creatures, something like that. It's pretty creatures
7
light.
creatures and about 10 removal spells.
And it's a deck. It's a deck.
Now you're playing some old school Magic.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, that may have been. I don't think I'm going to see that much removal again. Safe to say that was maybe a one-time thing. Every now and then you sit down, especially with a new set, that people are reading cards and they're picking stuff that they don't really know synergies, and I'll just take the removal cards. And that usually works.
Now, had you studied up on the different archetypes and stuff like that in
A little
Iconic
bit.
Masters
A little
before?
bit. Like I knew dragons were a thing.
Okay.
And I built a lifelink deck last night at midnight.
Gotcha.
And which is fun, and it can work. Like I got to successfully Archangel Thrune and counters everywhere, and once you start doing it, you've already won, right?
Sure.
Usually.
Yeah.
And then I had other times where it was like, hey, I don't have anything to gain life. Nothing's happening.
Looks like we got some hands being drawn here. Terry's hand has no land, so he's going to take them all again. And TJ looks to be on the mull as well. So more shuffle cam.
Shuffling. I think the +1/+1 thing is a thing, though. And I wasn't
aware
of that.
It definitely is, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of synergy there.
And there's a couple cards I'd never seen before. Like pack 3, I get, what was it? I mean, I took it. Bladewing's Thrall. This thing. Maybe is this the same art as the original?
Bladewing's Thrall. I don't remember that.
I mean,
card,
so this
actually.
would have been from like Onslaught or back when Bladewing was
probably
a card.
Different.
It's,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Huh.
So every now and then you get a card. Oh, I've never seen this thing before.
There you go. We
Cool.
got a reader.
Yeah. Right. All right. Shuffling. More shuffling. Everybody's having fun.
You know what I found really interesting? It seems like there's tons of artifact ramp in Iconic Masters.
Yeah.
Tons and tons of
Absolutely.
artifact ramp.
Where you have Mind Stone at common.
You have Mind Stone, you've got Compass, you've got Thran Dynamo, you've got...
the different colored, like, turns into dragon things from...
Right. You've
from
got
dragons.
the Idol. I forget the exact name of it, but costs 2 mana and comes into play tapped.
Yep. And there's a Mannequin.
Mannequin,
right?
yep.
Yeah.
Tons and tons of artifact ramp.
Yeah.
Bounce
Oh,
lands, yeah.
And bounce lands. Bounce lands are good. All of this colorless mana ramping, maybe not so much.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see how you could really exploit that to the best.
I took a Mind Stone early in this first draft because I hadn't looked at the full list early.
Yeah.
And then suddenly here's all this other stuff coming out. I was going, whoa, why I didn't need to prioritize that. I could have had whatever.
For sure.
And then I think it didn't even make the cut.
Yeah.
So, yeah, bounce land's good. Colorless mana ramp, maybe not so much. The Thran Dynamo's good if you're ramping it all.
Yeah, I don't think Amulet is in Iconic Masters.
I don't think so. The bounce lands are good in Iconic Masters Draft. Bounce lands are great. If we're talking about like constructed, not if you have an Amulet of Vigor, sure. Right. There we go.
So it looks like we've got your typical turn 2, one player has mana in play, one player doesn't because wasteland.
Yeah.
And Deathrite is going to have a decent amount of food now. Brainstorm coming in.
Terry, this is the second game where he's been mana light.
Yeah, and his original 7 as well, he had to mull because he didn't have a single mana source.
So, and this is an argument for decks that can play Deathrite Shaman versus decks that can't. They're very similar. One of them, is trying to Stoneforge Mystic out. The other one's trying to play a True Name or a Leopold or something,
yeah.
right? It's all about that turn 2, turn 3, but Deathrite Shaman can make a difference for sure.
Definitely. But I think even with the Deathrite going to town and doing its job, there are reasons why you wouldn't want to include it into a Stoneblade deck like the one that Terry's playing. So I definitely see why he didn't choose to go 4-color here.
Sure.
But it's definitely looking like Deathrite's putting in a lot of work this match.
Looked like Terry brought in his Rest in Peace in his hand, so that could
Might
kind
be
of
good
negate.
against these double Deathrites.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's see if we get on the board here.
If he ever sees another land,
Looks like
There's
he
one.
got a fetch.
can't get a basic plains with this.
Could get a Tundra.
Yep.
I'm imagining that's the case.
So now he has to choose: do you just Rest in Peace right here, or do you like Stoneforge Mystic if you have one? I think he's got one.
I think that's a tough call. Terry does have Force backup in hand,
Right.
Which might make it appealing to get down the Stoneforge, because you can still force a Jace if that comes down next turn for TJ.
Mm.
But we'll see what happens.
There it is. Ooh, TJ doesn't have a response. Surprised after seeing Brainstorm and Ponder. Would have thought he
Definitely,
had
you would
something
think
there.
there'd be a little bit of something there. The number 1 pick for Stoneforge Mystic, Batterskull, Skull, comes into hand.
Yeah.
Pretty common.
It's a sword.
Yeah. It's usually the best sword to get if you don't already have it in hand.
Right. And then suddenly
It's quite telling if someone goes and gets something other than Batterskull.
Yep.
You go, oh, so you have that already, right?
We're gonna see another Garruk
Looks like here
appearance.
comes Garruk, and here comes a Force on the other side, pitching Snapcaster.
TJ has an Abrupt Decay. I didn't see the rest of his hand there. Just out of view. Terry gets to leave up his other Force of Will. Still has it. I don't think he's got another blue card for it, but
That should be enough time to get this Batterskull online.
I don't think I've seen the lands in the top left, creatures on the top right game plan Terry's got going on.
Yeah.
It's either lands up front or lands back behind. Terry's playing as if his lands are creatures. Just to tilt chat.
It's more
That's why.
it's more equal. Everything's on an equal playing field.
I need these just as much as I need my... Yep. All right, TJ has to decide some stuff here. Again, still can't quite see his hand, so I don't know what his decisions might be. Eats a land.
Deathrite eats land. And here comes a Snapcaster, probably on a Ponder or a Brainstorm. See, you could go for a Brainstorm.
Yeah,
here.
Brainstorm here since you have a fetch
You've
land.
got the fetch.
Yep.
Here comes Brainstorm. Nice foil Brainstorm.
Yeah, suddenly a little bit more affordable than they once were.
Exactly.
It's like a $20 card instead of a $60 card.
I'm a big fan of accessibility. I think cards, in general, can really set you back quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So
yeah.
I don't mind that they have these other cards that do the same thing and have slightly different art and might not be quite as sought after as the other ones. Still keep the value of the nice ones,
Right.
but you can at least play with the effect if you don't want to spend the money.
We're going to have, along with that, we're going to have this new, so we just have this iconic, right?
Yep.
Which some people might say doesn't have a lot of value in it, but it's changing the prices already of cards like Grove of the Burnwillows and
Sure.
Horizon Canopy that
Yeah.
were maybe a little ridiculously priced. And then we're going to have Masters 25 come out. So we're going to have more Masters sets practically in print still than ever before.
Definitely.
You'd think that
Oh.
that means cards will be more affordable than ever before
Yeah, fingers crossed.
for some of the Eternal formats. You know, of course, reserve list jacks with that.
Notwithstanding, yeah.
And there's the whole debate. If you get more people playing Legacy, then there's more demand for those reserve list cards, and so maybe prices actually go up, and it just kind of equals out.
Maybe.
But at least for Modern, I would imagine Modern gets more and more affordable. This Mishra's Bauble isn't a $30 card
yeah.
anymore. Never was.
Yeah.
Never should have been. And some other cards that were sillily priced.
Here comes another Snapcaster coming down for a ponder.
Is there foil Snapcasters?
Foil
So you
Snapcasters,
get two
foil-
things, right?
Foil original art Snapcasters.
Yeah.
Yep.
Isn't that how that works? You get two flashback things.
Only if the card that you're flashing back is also foil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The foil synergies. I think that's happening with TJ's deck.
Exactly.
Ponder's gonna shuffle those cards away. He doesn't want those. You don't need two lands in a
Thinking
something.
about it, but I don't see why he's thinking this long. It seems pretty easy to me to throw
Nope.
that back.
Nope.
He likes
Nope.
it.
Keeps the Ponder.
Interesting.
I thought it was two lands in a Ponder, but there we
That's
go.
what it looked like to me as well. Here comes that Battle Skull and our sweet tokens.
The cute little germ. It's cute. It's a cute little germ. Every time. I gotta play with this token.
I love all the token arts. They're wonderful.
So TJ took game one. He's sitting here with two death rights. Terry still has that rest in peace in hand.
Definitely. And, you know, I wonder if, looking back, if the play should have been rest in peace. You've seen two Snapcasters get played. You've seen death rights activate several times, and all that value is kind of lost. What just happened there? Double block from Snapcaster on the germ token.
Admiral, you're checking our uptime. We've been live for an hour and 12 minutes. We're in round 2 of some Legacy here.
How's it going, Admiral?
I didn't know that uptime was a thing. We only do three rounds on Friday nights. Legacy starts a little bit later. We have Standard, Modern, Commander. We've got Iconic Masters drafts happening all in the room, and so we only do 3 rounds of Legacy. 4 rounds on Tuesdays, 3 on Friday nights. And we had Mud versus Mud on our other table.
We did. And that went
we
very quickly.
We absolutely have a pair of giant D20s. They're pushed off the table for some reason. Some players really struggle. I struggled using them at first because I'm so used to writing down on pen and paper.
Yeah.
It was hard to do both. But we should ask them to put them on.
We should.
If you want to peek out and just ask them to put
You
those
bet.
just on screen. Because I have no idea what the life totals are. We have no idea. The sound is low. We don't want the sound to be low. Sorry, guys. We will project a little bit more. Audio. I'll up it. How about that? Is that better? There we go. We got some life totals. 22 to 17. Wow. I had no idea. I mean, it makes
Who'd have
sense.
thought?
That makes sense. We've had some death rights that have eaten some lands. There we go. Perfect. Sorry, guys.
Awesome.
The life totals are imaginary. Yes. Yes. I mean, you could see
Who
that
needs
Terry
a
was keeping
life
track, but I couldn't tell what
Yeah,
they were.
both players weren't even using the dice. They're just kind of keeping track on their own. Like,
Oh,
like we're accustomed to doing.
Yeah. So now are we going to see this rest in peace finally? It's been teased
Is
for
it
so
time?
long. Check the loudness equalization. Staying late at grad school.
Watch a Pokemon Go gym for a few hours.
Another
Snapcaster.
It would have come down in response to the...
Definitely. And
To the rest in
here
peace.
comes Pyroblast, or Red Elemental Blast.
Yeah, an unlimited one, no less. Camping at this gym for 10 hours? That's dedication right there.
That is dedication.
Yeah, I want this thing. I had a gym once.
Did you?
Yeah, like 6 minutes. I think I had a gym.
Oh, wonderful.
I lost interest after that.
I was shocked I was able to hold a gym in Australia for about 14 hours or so.
Oh, yeah?
Just passing through.
Some death rights knocking Terry down to 17. 17-17. Yeah. If your
If
job,
it's right there,
especially
yeah.
if your job is like sitting behind a counter checking people in or something
Exactly.
pretty easy. I don't know if that's what you're doing or not. But where you can just be on your phone the whole time. Gives you something to do.
Thoughtseize coming down for TJ. Reveals Rest in Peace, GT, Force, Batterskull.
All right, what do you take here?
I'm tempted to take that Batterskull. Just get it off the board.
Riley,
Get
the
out of
chat
hand.
appears to be working just fine on screen.
Chat should be on screen.
Yeah. Does it not look good to you?
It's on the bottom left.
Yeah.
That's where it should be.
it's right there. I don't know what you mean. All right, he took Jite. Interesting. I don't think that's
Huh.
what I would have taken.
I think I definitely would have taken the Batterskull.
Yeah.
We'll see if he's got something else in mind for that.
I think that was a Batterskull or the Rest in Peace, because
That might mean he has an answer for Stoneforge. But now it's too late.
yeah. Yep. I think he's empty-handed now. Wait a minute. We didn't punt. You can only punt when I make a horrible play call or something. Sifting through photos.
Ah, it's a lot of photos. 1,700. Oh, no, you closed it. 1,700.
And that means something to
It's
other people.
military time.
Well, yeah. It's like 5 o'clock or
5
something.
o'clock.
Yeah, Twitch without headphones, especially, well, here an hour into it, somebody says that the volume's low, so I turned it up. Now you guys can actually hear us. We started the stream with the mic on the wrong mic, so it was deathly quiet. All right, well,
So, 2 Death Rights versus Batterskull and a Rest in Peace.
yeah. Anytime the audio's down, we can...
You have to expect this is just going to be an end-of-turn Batterskull into a Rest in Peace, and then I don't see TJ's board really progressing.
Nope.
There's that Germ token back again, looking good. And here comes that Rest in Peace finally
Right?
onto the board.
After
been-
TJ's already been able to Snapcaster and Deathrite and do almost everything he wanted
Exactly.
with his graveyard, it's still pretty effective here.
And
Especially when you're walking into a
here
goif.
comes a Deathrite activation in response, maybe 2 or 2 Deathrite activations in
Yep.
response, just to get that little extra value. But minus something really big, TJ just fell way behind.
F7 over the weather in Draper. It's been snowing. I don't know if it is still. We had our first good snowfall this.
It's wonderful. As someone who works in the ski industry and wants to be up skiing as soon as possible, it was great to see. Oh, a Leovold.
Apparently. Weather in Utah, just in all of Utah. Okay, that might be a little different in northern Utah than in southern Utah, but okay.
Wow. I didn't know MTG bot could do that.
No, and in degrees Celsius, no less.
Wow.
Yeah. Which means nothing at all to me. Nothing at all. I have no idea what any of that means. There's weather and it's outside. Yeah, Oregon also weather. Goodness. How do you change MTG bot to degrees Fahrenheit? Man, sometimes the chat just goes off topic and you have no idea whether here. Yeah, we got weather. I think
Weather
I'm
forecast.
gonna have too much fun with this. A foil on Earth. That doesn't do anything but cycle.
Yeah, not much going on there.
Whoa. Okay, I won't try and change it to degrees Fahrenheit then.
There you go.
Oh dear.
So ponder into the Leovold.
Ponder gets to rearrange. It doesn't get to
Look
draw.
at the top 3, possibly shuffle, don't draw.
Yep. And that force and card is his hand there.
Definitely. But that batter skull is still doing work.
Yeah, TJ's put his dice on the table, but he's not using. He's not using
No.
the dice. No. He just took some damage, and his life total changed on his notepad. We got to be getting close here on time, aren't we?
Should be getting a little bit longer.
36 minutes into the round. So they still got a little while. True name.
Here comes a true name. Let's see if we've got a force to answer
He
that.
can just hard cast that force at will.
He can. Looks like that's what we're going to see here.
Wait. Zarenia. Zarenia? I'm confused. I don't understand. Oh dear. For something very different. I follow now. Yeah, we don't need to go there, guys. We don't need to.
Let's just get back to Magic.
We went from weather to other things very quickly. All right.
All right, F7.
Travis, we are in Draper, Utah. It's about halfway between Salt Lake City and Provo, Utah. A short, 20-minute drive just from downtown Salt Lake City. I think we've had enough of the weather. It doesn't mean anything to any of us anyway when it's all in degrees Celsius. But I mean, this game is very exciting right now, so I can understand the distraction. TJ sees a Liliana in this ponder. That's not bad. It's better than the Goyf that he has in hand.
The thing is, it really doesn't matter. You just sack the Germ token, rebuy the batter skull, and then replay it off of the Stoneforge. So it's not going to get much traction on the board.
It's going to get countered regardless.
Yeah, Terry has Counterspell in hand.
Travis, where are you living now, sir? If you miss Utah. We're entering the awesome season that is ski season here in Utah, right? We had a beautiful ski season last year. It was incredible.
Wonderful ski season.
It's maybe the best in like a decade that I remember.
At least in the past 5 years.
Yeah.
I think much like last year, this year, it seems like we've gone straight from summer into winter. It's like a light switch flipped, and now it's snowing, and now it's getting cold out, and...
We had a little bit of a fall this year. Travis, you're in D.C. It's a little different environment than Utah. We've got Terry here's he was playing with his hand up, and so he's got his cards on the table, and
Yeah.
now he's stuck in this mode where he had his cards on the table, even though none of his cards are revealed. That happens sometimes.
He might just not even need to look at them, though,
So
if he
swords,
knows what they are.
yeah. Swords is targeting Leovold. TJ gets a draw, gains some life. Now Brainstorm's a little bit better card.
Definitely.
It's kind of really, really bad if you have a
Definitely.
Leovold out.
So
Terry's up to 31 life. TJ's at 12.
there's a lightning bolt and a snapcaster. So that might
These Snapcasters, so there's still a rest in peace out, so you can't snap
Right.
bolt, snap, bolt. You can't do that.
can't do that.
Targeting Leo multiple times to I think it's a May ability. I think that's how it works.
We've asked them once already to use the dice.
Some players just really I think they're current now. I
I
think, the
think
life totals
they're
are
just
pretty
having
close.
a hard time remembering to use it. It's not normal for them to use, but
So the germ token has been attacking TJ, right? TJ's been blocking.
yeah, with that true name.
It looks as if Terry's been gaining life, though, right? That's not how that works.
Damage is prevented.
Yeah. There's no damage that's happening when if that is getting blocked.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for several times now, so if that's what's been happening,
Yeah,
maybe
if that's what's been happening, there was a couple of times where the germ token was being blocked by death rights and the like.
Okay, so maybe that's where he was getting his life from. Oh, we'll see if he's been doing that. I didn't actually see him change his life total.
We'll see if it happens this next turn. We can figure it out from there. Another Leovold comes down.
Okay, so here he just passed. All right, so I don't. Huh. Well, TJ might be playing for a draw here. He's not aggressively attacking. He's got one game up, and we're at about 10 minutes left in the round. That seems pretty early to be doing that. They're just
There's
both kind of stalled.
Nothing really that the true name can do. If you attack in, you're losing one life every go through off
Right.
of the attack.
Right.
Really, he needs to see a second true name to get things going. Library might do a decent job of helping find another threat.
Even killing the Stoneforge Mystic would help, as then he has to bounce the Batter Skull back, play the Batter Skull. It can't attack that turn.
Definitely.
It's a little slower, but
Click comes down. Now, did he target TJ?
he must have.
He must have targeted TJ.
So TJ's going to draw a card first. He's going to respond by brainstorming. Leovold's a fair card.
Leovold is one of those magic cards, has so many different lines of text on it, and they're all just insanely good, especially in Legacy.
Yeah. I once had somebody grape shot me for 8. Wasn't lethal, and I had a Leovold out. That was a good time. He's like, "Oh yeah, you just destroyed cards, didn't you?" Yeah. That was
I
when
wonder
Leovold
if you have a
was new.
Flusterstorm. If this click resolves, though, it might be able to break the standstill that's going on here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And he's definitely ahead on life, right? That's it didn't last long.
Oh. So here comes the Abrupt
You
Decay.
can't counter the Abrupt Decay. That's one of those cards that says can't be countered.
It's very true. They can try.
It's funny when players do almost every time. I'm going to Abrupt Decay this. I'm going to look at my hand and I can't do anything.
So here comes the reveal.
Death Right, Goyf, and a Toxic Deluge. A bunch of cards that,
That are going to be stuck in TJ's hand.
that aren't going to do much. If he drew a card it has resolved, Is that right?
If he drew a card, it has
Yeah.
resolved.
That was a mistake then. wasn't it?
Yes, because the target comes after click resolves. That is correct. But I believe what happened is he responded to the trigger by brainstorming and then abrupt decayed with the trigger
once
on
it was
the stack.
already, Yep.
But you're correct. He would not be able to counter once he's drawn a card.
He killed it with the abrupt decay, and we were talking about countering the abrupt decay.
Correct.
How you can't do that. Yeah. That was a clean line.
Jace comes down. Looks like we're fate sealing Terry.
Yeah. The Jace draw some cards. Brainstorming doesn't really help when there's a Leovold out.
Yep.
You're on the let's hopefully get Jace up to ultimate. Are we dropping frames? I don't think we are right now. Just a minimal amount. Are you guys seeing lag? We were having some issues with video lag last week. I don't think we're experiencing it right now. Looks good to me.
So True Name's going to do a good job of keeping that Jace under control. It goes down to 2 counters. And what that will do is allow Batterskull to get in next turn unless there's a follow-up play coming here for...
Yeah. Travis from DC, thanks for the follow. We've got some Legacy action on Tuesday nights and Friday nights, some paper Magic here, and then we've got several other formats and Magic Online things as well.
It's so cool to see, guys. If you haven't been down here on a Friday night, you really should come down because there's so many fun formats being played. I think there's possibly 5 or 6 different formats being played right now. And
what's crazy is, Paragon's been open for about a year.
Yeah.
And there was practically no Legacy scene in the entire state of Utah.
Definitely.
And finally a bunch of us got together and who were firing like 6-man Legacy tournaments every once a month or something. Finally, when these guys opened up, we really tried to focus on Legacy and got enough people that we were getting 20 people on Tuesdays.
It's doing great. I've seen 20-man plus tournaments fire on Tuesdays or Fridays. And wow, it's so good to see. It's not something you see in Utah very often.
Paragon's going to be hosting a 1K, Legacy 1K at the end of the year. Should be pretty good.
So Deathrite comes down probably in order to just kind of eat up a germ attack would be my guess.
Mm-hmm. Which doesn't really
do
help
much.
You out.
Yeah.
It allows TJ to attack Jace.
Exactly.
And get him off the board.
Catch you later, Admiral.
You missed our future opening packs. We have 3 more packs to open.
We do.
Jace down to 1.
Jace down to 1.
This game is never going to end. It's never going to end. There's no end in sight.
Pretty deadlocked.
We're really getting close to time in the round. There's about 3 minutes left. I don't actually have the real clock in front of me. I'm just estimating here. It's an 0-1.
Termagoyf not looking very impressive with the Rest in Peace in play. You have to wonder, back to that Thoughtseize, if the Batterskull was gone, how would this game look?
Yeah, right? Instead of taking the Jitte.
So here comes a Bolt. In response, Leovold is going to draw into a Force of Will, and we're going to Force of Will that Bolt. Force comes down, pitching Snapcaster Mage. Force back.
Just how you drew it up. It's a lot of work getting rid of that Leovold.
Yeah.
But it's foil, so it takes more effort.
Definitely. 5 mana Force of Wills, that's what you want to see.
Jace gets to brainstorm now.
Wow.
See, these guys, there's just not much happening here.
Not much. Looks like we'll probably see a Ponder get kept. And we'll see a Ponder probably into a Shuffle.
Yes, the lands on the left, Todd Ebb, is that what you're asking about? That is a new one for me. It's how everybody does it. You got your enchantments down on the bottom left, your lands above the enchantments, and then your creatures where they obviously should go.
I think you should just have your lands in the middle and have your creatures circle around the around the lands, just to protect them. You know. It's hard
Finally, Terry here gets to cantrip, and so he's just going to manipulate and
just trying to find answers to the board.
Till time runs out, he's just going to keep chaining different ponder into brainstorm into chase brainstorm into ponder into. Still, all I'm finding is more cantrips.
You gotta get rid of it before another Leovold comes down.
I think we've seen the last of the Leovolds. I think that was Leovold number 2. We got upside down cards.
Got some swords in there. Oh man.
That was the worst. That was the worst. I'm tilted. That's why I said, Terry, let's do something weird just to tilt Tadeb.
I like the Jace. Everything's right up there in front, you know.
Here's a true name nemesis. Of his own, true name with an attached battle scroll might actually end this game.
Yeah, that's a decent clock.
We gotta be really close to turns here.
Depending on TJ's life total, if it really is that low, he might even get it if they go to turns.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't really stall through a.
Down goes Jace. Nothing really.
Where's his graveyard? Yeah, where is his graveyard? His graveyard's just off screen.
It is exiled, so
yeah, yep. We don't have graveyards.
Doesn't really matter. Down
now
goes
we have
the
graveyards.
Abrupt Decay or Golgari Charm, excuse me, gets rid of the Rest in Peace. And Deluge coming in.
Deluge.
Yeah.
That's gonna work.
Good Deluge. So now we have
some amount of life to get rid of everything.
A Sylvan Library versus a Batterskull. Let's see what happens.
And TJ, is that some number of life?
Some number of life. It looks like 7.
It was at 7 a while ago. He might be down to 3. He would have had to pay at least 4 life for that.
I thought he was at 11 before, but who knows. Second Rest in Peace comes down off the top. And likely we'll see a Batterskull returned at end of turn. And then we'll see really what life total TJ's at. It is going to make getting extra cards off of Sylvan Library hard to do. And it looks like a couple blanks. No, there was a second Rest in Peace that is played, so it is correctly exiled.
I think he exiled it first before that ever happened.
It looked to me, yeah. All right. Another true name on the top there for Terry.
Yeah, I think you just go true name instead of the Batterskull.
Definitely.
Plan. It's a little safer and. Yeah, we had a second Rest in Peace get played, so it actually doesn't matter this game now. But it could have, it would have.
Yeah.
So if you destroy a Rest in Peace, then the Rest in Peace and the card you destroy with do not go into exile. The
Golgari Charm wouldn't have been in the graveyard until the Rest in Peace is destroyed. And Rest in Peace being destroyed means it can't see itself to exile, so relevant card types. So if Terry does get this game, then it looks like the match will be a draw.
There's an edict effect.
The rip sees itself. Interesting. Are you sure about that, Zorania?
All right, here comes Batterskull.
Batterskull coming down.
Answer number 5 here. Okay. I haven't.
Awesome. Good to know. I'm not always 100% on those things that are a little bit tricky with when timings happen. Sweet. That's okay.
We trust you. We
we-
trust you.
We trust you.
We can if there's something you really want to link, we can copy it. Disenchant
Yeah.
goes in the graveyard, but not the rest in peace. The
Yeah,
other way around.
that-
So
that
they did
makes
it.
sense.
They did it the inverse.
That makes sense.
All right, let's see if Terry gets to attack one time here. I think that's all he needs. 1 or 2 attacks.
One time, maybe 2. TJ's been putting up quite the fight to keep at this life total. Here comes in 1 attack and a fatal push. Brainstorm in response.
TJ just pushed that germ right off the edge. All right, maybe that was time.
Might be.
The tiniest itty bit. Because it's a germ.
They are wonderful tokens. I love the art on all of them, especially the elementals. Hopefully we get to see some young pyromancers on camera.
Yeah. The elementals are great. The spirits, there's a couple different spirits, but the little ghost is great. This is game 2 for these guys here.
Game 2, it looks like even if Terry wins, the best he can hope for is a draw
Right.
at this point, and TJ's looking to lock it up with 1 win, 1 draw.
Back to the shuffling phase.
Back to the shuffling phase.
Yes.
Magic the shuffling. That deck's looking pretty thin on Terry's side.
And he hasn't gotten to draw several cards off of a Leopold.
Here comes a
as well.
Jace just to, add some more draws in there. Blood Moon, Pyroblast, Red Elemental Blast. Probably not what you're really looking to see here.
Yeah, I'm kind of. We were on turns, is why. Okay, that makes
Gotcha.
sense. It felt like we were on turns a little while ago, but we didn't ever see a dice on screen. So
There we
TJ is
go.
going to take that by winning 1 game, and then they draw on game 2.
Correct. Well, that was quite the match.
So we should have round 3 here really pretty soon. But we could open a pack of Magic cards.
Oh, I bet.
Let's see it.
Let's
Pack
see
2.
it. Pack 2 coming up.
Charmbreaker Devils was pack
All right.
1.
Another Iconic Masters booster pack.
Oops. Here we go. Now you can do it.
Cool. All right. So working our way from the commons, we have Doom Traveler,
That guy's doomed. He's great.
Mnemonic Wall.
Which lets you what?
It
Get
returns a
back to
sorcery card. Yep.
Yeah.
0/4 Wall. Instant or sorcery, excuse me. We've got Keldon Halberdier, which is one of those suspend
Yeah.
guys. Guard Duty. Virulent Swipe.
It can be really good.
Definitely. Greater Basilisk.
Some death touching.
3/5 Death Touch for 5. Yep. Foul Tongue Invocation.
Yeah. 4 of those in 1 dragon deck. It's a good time.
Pretty good. Your double Bogard and Hellkite deck. Phantom Monster.
So in the same set that has a 4/4 Sarah Angel at uncommon, you've got a 3/3 flyer for the it
For
costs
4,
It costs
yeah.
4. Okay. That's a good 4-drop.
Battle Rattle Shaman.
Surprisingly a strong card.
Can be very good.
Yeah. Yep.
Mannequin.
Not sure about these guys. Not sure about all that colorless
It's
ramp
a
we talked
lot
about.
of colorless ramp.
Yep.
Mind Crank at uncommon.
That was one that was fairly expensive, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. It seems more
Not so much
EDH-y.
anymore. Yeah. Whenever an opponent loses life, that player puts that many cards from the top of their library into their graveyard. Okay.
So combo that with, was it Dimir Guildmage?
Okay.
Which, whenever a card's put into the graveyard, they lose life. I believe.
And
So
you just win.
Go
Sure,
off.
Sure.
Undercity Troll.
It regenerates.
Yep, with Renown.
Yeah.
Thran Dynamo.
Pretty good. All the dynamos. Not going to be as pricey as it once was.
And for our foil, we have Mahamodi Jin
Oh. At uncommon.
at uncommon.
Yeah.
And our rare, we have an Elish Norn.
Sweet.
Sweet.
You win.
Awesome. Good pack.
Right on.
I like,
like
that
it.
foil Jin.
Yeah. That's back when I started playing.
Oh, yeah.
I had my Jin clone doppelganger deck.
Oh,
it was
that's
whoever
great.
had more 5/6s out won. That's what Magic was when I first started playing. I've got 14 5/6 flyers. How many do you have? 12. Okay. I get to attack. No, I don't get to attack yet. All right, we have players sitting down for round 3.
All right.
You got a Charmbreaker Devils as well? Hey, if you get
we're
it in
the same
draft,
club.
it's really pretty strong in draft. At least it was when I played against it. I got wrecked. Maybe we have players
First
sitting
pack
down?
we opened up. Right here.
Charmbreaker, yeah.
Yep, we got ourselves Elish Norn Mythic.
All right,
I'll
I'm gonna
take
open
it.
the pack. Hold on,
All right. Comes Bryce's pack.
Here we go. While we wait, we got some comments. They're there. There's yeah, bubbling cauldron. You got the cauldron thing happening again. Yeah, I don't know. Guildmage could be good. Could
Yeah.
be amazing. I drafted. I've said this a few times. I drafted a life gain deck last night, and Guildmage was one of the cards. Never saw the Guildmage. Another colorless.
Another
I don't
artifact ramp card.
More Sarah Ascendant with new art. Very ascendanty. Howard Lyon, a local artist here.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's good art. I like that art.
Yeah. And a foil.
Womp, womp.
Okay. Pack two.
All right.
Jaden, good to see you, sir. Have a good night. Oh, gotta hurry. We got Kevin versus
we got
TJ.
shuffling to go through
Ryan
first.
versus Jeff. Ancestral Vision, RG Hydra, and some dumb band counterspell. Mana something? Yeah, that card's a drain. It's not worth it. All right, we're going to go quicker. Crucible of Fire. What? There's the camera. Meh. Dragons. This would have been cool in my dragon deck. And a foil. This pack's not. It doesn't have the mana drain. Boo.
Boo.
Pack. We opened some packs.
There
We
you
did
go.
it. You're welcome, chat. All right. The store here cracked, I don't know how many boxes, and pack 1 of somebody's box was a foil mana drain.
Wow.
That's winning. Let's see here. What?
All right, so we have
This is
Kevin versus TJ and Ryan versus Jeff.
all right. Figure this out. Kevin versus TJ. TJ playing Soul Tie.
And Kevin we saw on that red prison deck.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Let's see. Ryan on Mud versus Jeff. We saw a lot of TJ that last round.
For sure.
Let's see what this looks like.
So we've got Mud versus an unknown deck.
We're in the exciting dice rolling stage.
Definitely.
Very exciting.
Coming some
I'm excited.
cuts. Let's see if we get some keepable hands here.
You like the new art on the mana drain?
It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the mana drain. I think a lot of the cards. I mean, okay, this is pretty obvious, right? But the cards that don't already see play, like Ether Vial, for example, I don't think that's going to go down very much. Cryptic Command, don't think it's going to go down very much. But Mana Drain that sees play in what, some Commander and Vintage, I don't expect it to stay very high. I don't think it's a $100 card. It's already down to like $80, I think, right?
Yeah, I think it really depends on how many are in circulation in, say, 3 years' time.
Yeah, yeah. How many people open up? How much of this set is opened? Sure.
Yeah. But definitely in the immediate, it'll go down.
And there's some other cards too that are similarly priced, right? Horizon Canopy, for example,
Sure.
is like a 1 or 2 of in some decks.
Yeah.
It's not a $60 land.
Yeah, although Modern Boggles does play it.
Yeah.
And so there's definitely a need for it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not going to get played, but it was way overpriced. Patrick, hello, sir. How is the Portland? How is it treating you? All right, we got a Chalice on 1 versus Death and Taxes. So Ryan's over here,
Mud
Jeff's
versus,
over there.
Yeah, Mud versus Death and
Let's
Taxes.
switch these guys around here.
D&T.
There it is. I found it. Found it. Got it. Got it there. Sorry, guys.
All right. So, Transfer coming down.
So Death and Taxes doesn't really care about a Chalice on 1. It would be much more afraid of a Chalice on 2. Trinisphere kind of hurts. And there are some cards where, you know, stop Swords to Plowshares and other things from happening. Mother of Runes can't get played.
Here comes a Ballista.
We don't know what Revoker named.
Excuse me. Excuse me, guys.
Yeah, the new Cryptic. Hey, have you guys seen the what was the card? Unstable. It's called Very Cryptic Command.
Ah.
That's fantastic.
I
It
love
has
it.
similar art. That's great. I chuckled when I saw that. You got the brand new Cryptic Command art, and then the very next
That's
set
great.
that comes out a month later, Very Cryptic Command. All right, another Ballista. It's time for 2. Ryan's all the way down to 12 life because of these ancient tombs.
Yeah. Looks like Jeff's stuck on 2 mana, and Ballista is pretty good at killing most things as long as another spell to stop it from activating comes into play, such as a Revoker or
Ooh,
Needle. Or
That Ether Vial that's just hanging out in Jeff's hand. That's mean. I was wrong. So, Chalice the Void, there's some cards that you care about.
Yeah.
Usually, not so much.
Not that he could play it right now anyways with the Trinisphere.
Right. He goes ahead and just discards a Thalia because it would have cost 3.
Yep. It doesn't look like mana taxing is going to be very good against a Walking Ballista, as well as about 7 mana, 6 mana on the other side.
Yep. Yeah, F7. It's true. He's just going to keep going. We got Metalworker!
Metalworker in play.
Yay!
Let's see what other crazy big mana spells can come out of this mud deck.
Metalworker's great fun. You can go Metalworker with...
Now, is that a foil Metalworker?
I don't think so. I don't think it is. There's no star.
No.
Metalworker with Staff of Domination. It's good times. No, Jeff is going to keep resharding porting is what he's going to do until he's dead. He's going to pry this game from his cold dead
There you
fingers
go.
here.
All right, Metalworker revealing 3 cards. 7 mana, Spine.
Spine of Ishal.
Spine kills a land.
Just what I expected to see today in Legacy.
In for 2.
7 mana, destroy a permanent. There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
That's enough for the game.
Ryan takes game 1. All right, so we're just starting round 3 here. We'll jump over to our other match while these guys sideboard. And we've got Sultai versus this Red Prison deck.
Red Prison. And Red Prison has a Magus of the Moon in play, as well as a Chandra.
Keep doing that. I'm trying to add extra eyes to that. The joke about very cryptic command is that it isn't obvious that you can use it to ramp or tap your opponent's lands, right? Because you untap 2 permanents, you can tap each permanent target player controls with exactly 1 word in its name. Those would be lands, yep. And you discard all the cards in your hand, then draw that many cards, yep. And then you can return an instant sorcery from your grave to your hand. I guess that's why it is very cryptic. I'm not sure. That's great, though. It's true. True name Nemesis.
True Name on board. Now, we saw how hard it was for Kevin to deal with True Name before without a bridge. We'll see if this is also the case here.
He was hoping for one there.
And there's the other Chandra in hand for Kevin as well, our M14 Chandra.
Yeah, both 2 Chandras. You can play them both. You can have both Chandras out at the same time.
New Planeswalker rules.
Two Chandras.
Is that the discard ability F7?
Yeah.
Yeah. Discard and draw, Windfall. Or Wheel. It's not quite Wheel.
No, not Wheel.
Yeah. But red tends to get a lot of those types of effects. 2 Chandras in play.
Which one do I want to kill? So many choices.
Going after Torch of Defiance first.
Torch was up to, what, 7? Is that right?
Look that way.
We have some much larger dice right next to these players, but they're refusing to use it.
If only.
Not the huge D20s, but we've got some really nice, readable, legible D6s right there, sitting right next to them. Here's a Goyf. I think Kevin wants an Ensnaring Bridge. What do you think?
I think Ensnaring Bridge is
2 draws to see
definitely
it?
what I would want here.
2 potential draws right here.
I think you're hoping for that, and then you're hoping for no Abrupt Decay. Chalice isn't quite gonna cut it here.
Yep. Chalice does not stop an Abrupt Decay either, even if you put it on 2.
Doesn't stop what's in play either.
No.
Is True Name beating down your Planeswalkers and Goyf, who's...
Yeah, we're just going to look at the next card. See what you get. What you got?
Blood Moon.
Might as well play it.
Interesting. Right? It's probably worth playing.
All right, we're going to jump back over to our other match here.
All right.
It might get finished before these guys finish that one.
I see a Grim Monolith in play.
It's very
versus
grim.
A Plains.
Did you know that Grim Player lives in the Grim Monolith?
That makes sense. Yeah.
That's where he's from. Promise. That was not Chandra Blaze. It was Pyromaster, 4 mana. Two planes for he gets to play a 2-drop. Oh, it's a Revoker again.
Revoker.
Naming
Do you think
something.
he's naming Ballista this time?
I probably. Probably.
Although you can name mana abilities with Revoker, can't you? So he might have named Monolith.
Yeah, but it's not land, right? That's how that works. Okay.
Of course they're related. Kill Panic. Grimflayer and Grim Lavamancer?
No, totally not related. No.
Oh, they at least have to be
One's
cousins.
a flavor. maybe.
One puts things in the graveyard, the other uses the graveyard to
One
burn.
flays Grims, the other one is Grim. Totally different people.
Now, in the Lavamancer art, is the Lavamancer the human or is it the lizard?
Ooh, it's a human, right? Because it's a human type.
But the lizard's in both arts.
I don't know the answer to that one. It's getting beyond me right there.
All right, looks like we have a Stoneforge in play. Fetching up a Barrow Skull. Transfer made that cost 3.
Yeah, take that, Stoneforge. You cost 3 now.
Somehow I think Jeff's still okay with that costing 3.
Ooh, one could Lavamance a Grim. It's true. A Grim Lavamancer could Lavamance a Grim. As long as it wasn't flayed first. Wait, I don't know.
How many Grims could a Lavamance mance
Yeah,
if a Lavamance could?
It depends on the delirium, I guess.
Yeah.
we don't have Lavamancers or Grim players in this match. We haven't seen them tonight,
Well,
but
it
here
looks
we
like
are.
Revoker
Forge Master.
isn't going to matter here.
Some Forge Mastering.
So Forge Master allows you to sacrifice 3 artifacts and search your deck for an artifact and put it onto the battlefield.
I shall show you the Forge Master. It's been a little while since I've seen a Forge Master in play in Legacy. Here it is. He's got 3 artifacts.
He does. He has to dodge Swords to Plowshares here and possibly
Or a Revoker.
a Revoker.
Revoker can
Yeah.
cancel that out.
Yeah.
It's still a 3/5.
I was going to say Council's Judgment, but Revoker does the trick and rightfully names
Yeah.
Goldoth the Forge Master. But you still have a 3/5 body, which is not bad at blocking 2/1s. Or a 4/4 Batter Skull.
Mm-hmm.
Although if that Batter Skull becomes equipped to something else, it might be a little bit dangerous.
Yeah, Wasteland's going to take care of the tomb. That changes things a little bit. Ryan's sitting on Metalworkers, and he does have a Mox Diamond in hand as well. Just hanging out, waiting for a land. Doesn't get to play. Looks like he's got Grim Monolith, Mox Diamond, 2 Metalworkers. He just needs a land. There's one. His Monolith will cost 1 more, though, because of Trinisphere.
He could get a number of things. He could get a Worm Coil. I saw a Worm Coil in that deck.
Yeah.
He could get a Spine of Ishsa.
if that's what you wanted, yep.
He could get a Steel
Hellkite.
Steel Hellkite,
Was a card we
which
saw.
might be strong with what's in play. You could get rid of a couple of Phyrexian Revokers, I believe, unless one's naming it.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what his payoff card was. Those are the ones we saw.
Yeah,
But I'm not sure if he has like a
who
Blightstone in his
knows?
deck.
There might be a one-punch robot in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Sword comes down and is able to get that Batter Skull past to Forge Master. He blocks anyways.
Gains a whole bunch of life. Yeah, by blocking, you deny your opponent the draw,
Definitely.
and it wasn't doing much.
To me, that
Hord's pretty
signals that the first Revoker is probably naming Ballista, because I don't think you'd throw it away if you have a chance to onboard get your...
Yep. So now this is kind of rough. He draws City of Traders, right? So he's got access to 4 mana.
Right.
But that sort of Fire and Ice can just pick off a Metalworker. Metalworkers are 1/2s, right?
Correct.
So he's not going to want to block, and he can't not block, because then his Metalworker will just die anyway.
Sure. Here comes the second Grim Monolith. Not much else going on for Ryan right now. I think we're going to see this Germ token really take over the game, like you were saying.
Yeah. It's big. It's equipped. It's going to win. It's going to draw him cards.
13 damage on board. Looks like if life totals are correct, that would be 1 swing for lethal with everything.
Everybody at you.
And does the math.
Okay.
There you go.
We're on to game 3 for these guys. What ties it up? Let's see what's happening in our backup match where we've got
A lot of things in play versus an ensnaring bridge.
All right, this looks like it's the same game. Looks like it's still game 1.
You know what I see there? I see a Jace that's just about ready to ultimate.
Ooh. 2 Grim Monoliths in play.
And an Abrupt Decay for the bridge.
There we go.
Looks like that game's over as
TJ
well.
is going to take game 1. Just like that. He had all of the board presence versus... So that's where Kevin on his mono red, he's hoping to have some planeswalkers out there, right? And they had gotten killed off. If he had had that bridge out and his planeswalkers, he would have been in a much better spot.
Definitely. And might have actually been able to steal that game.
Yeah, but TJ obviously was able to get Jace down and just eventually find an Abrupt Decay to win. All right. Our first match... These guys are quick.
Shuffled up.
Quick with the shuffling. It ended abruptly. See what he did there? Because it was oh, I thought they were ready to go. They're both mulliganing.
That pun kind of decayed towards the end.
We got Kilpatrick in here. It's worth it. I'll see myself out. Okay. No, you can stay. Maybe you'll find a better pun. You did miss the box openings. You can go back and watch. I'm not sure how many they opened. They start off quite well with a foil Mana Drain, and there was 2 other Mana Drains opened. And
It goes a bit downhill from there.
Some of the other boxes were mediocre, which is how this type of set works.
All right. Looks like we've got lands in both players' hands. Let's see if they've got spells they want to keep. Looks like we've got Scries coming in. Awesome. Let's play some Magic. Cavern.
To make price plummet? Yeah, I think Flusterstorm's going to come way down. Grove isn't going to come down as much a percentage, I think.
Turn 1 Needle coming in. Wonder what the name is.
Yeah, what do you name with the Pithing Needle? You can't name Metalworker. That doesn't work.
Turn 2 Metalworker might be able to get things going, but here comes a Revoker, and that can name Metalworker, I believe.
Black in the artwork of some of the cards is great. Yeah, a lot of the Master sets, this happened in Eternal Masters as well. They just don't have the same quality control in the printing.
Yeah.
You can, yeah, you can name it.
True, Captain. You can name it, but it would not have the desired effect.
If I say something, Captain QC is good at telling me that I'm wrong. That's how this works. We formed a relationship.
In comes a Lodestone Golem on the other side.
That's pretty strong.
Three mana for that Stoneforge. Fetching up drum roll for the Batterskull. Skull. Big surprise over there.
Kill Panic. I called you Kilpatrick earlier. You think that the Vial is going to tank? Just going to keep going down? I would think that the Ether Vial is actually one that would stay pretty close. Ether Vial, Cryptic Command. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Cards that don't get played much, like Mana Drain, for example, doesn't even have a format to be played in.
Yeah.
Or Horizon Canopy that's only a one or two of in certain decks, or other cards like that.
Second Lodestone coming down. It's going to really make things hard to get through. There is a Batter Skull that can get into play pretty easily. That could possibly trade with a Golem. 2 Wastelands in play. It's really tempting just to kind of take him off mana, but that Metalworker is just going to allow him to get through. Get through what's on the board.
Even if he loses all his lands. Wasteland, wasteland. Pew, pew. Yeah. Horizon Canopy is played, but it's often like a 1 of or a 2 of. So when it was an $80 card at one point, that was kind of silly. That was just a supply demand thing.
Here comes the Batter Skull activation. Well,
and
Stoneforge 4 Batter Skull.
Is Commander really a format? There's the people that play it religiously. It is a format. Commander is one of the things that keeps a lot of stores in business.
For a lot of players, Commander is their format of choice.
All right, so we had a Batter Skull come in and block.
Yep.
That's what
takes out one of those Lodestone Golems, gets the tax a little bit less on the 2 lands from Jeff.
Not a good one. Yes, Mana Drain is legal in Commander. It's also legal in Vintage. I don't think if you could put a Mana Drain in your Commander deck and you really wanted to, I don't think it's a $100 card or an $80 card. From the Vault, Groves and some Flusterstorms. All right, Lodestone attacks. What are you going to do, Jeff?
I think he's going to take it, probably rebuy Batter Skull end of turn, and threaten to block that Lodestone next turn.
So Ryan's kind of playing as if his Metalworker is turned off. I don't think it is.
Yeah,
I guess if the Revoker named it, then it is turned off, right?
If the Revoker named it, then it is. Yeah. But here's another Revoker.
Man, Jeff's gotten all the Revokers every game.
And I wonder what that one's going to name. Hard to say. This Lodestone Golem can't really just suicide attack in, especially now that he's seen the Batter Skull activation from before. Yeah, Kill Panic, there really isn't a ton of overlap into competitive play with Commander, but it is another way that a lot of people play the game. And I think what people don't seem to realize is that the majority of people don't play Magic competitively. And for them, Commander is kind of a bridge between those two things. They're able to play in a store with people that they meet and have sort of that same kitchen table Magic feel.
Yeah, and Commander 1v1 is a thing. Right?
Definitely,
that gets pretty competitive. We're going to blink things.
Blinking Lodestone Golem. Germ's getting in. And that'll start padding Jeff's life total back up to reasonable numbers.
Yeah.
And from all the Ancient Tomb activations, it looks like Ryan is now down to 10.
He's got to land. It's not going to get him where he wants to be. Take that, Jeff. Chalice on 1.
Chalice on 1.
Got there. Right when he wanted it. So I'm pretty sure turn 9 is not when you want to be Chalice.
Usually not. There's a Council's Judgment in hand as well.
You bought your first deck today. Congratulations. What was
awesome.
Your first deck? That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I did not buy my first deck today.
Me neither.
No.
I did, however, build my first deck of Iconic Masters.
Oh, yeah, in draft.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
Attacks coming in here.
Swing for 7?
Looks like 7. 3 in the air. I wonder if we'll see a Metalworker go under the bus. Looks that way.
I'm pretty sure Jeff's got this one.
It's looking pretty good. He's got some answers in hand, just kind of waiting around. If he draws another mana, he gets to port a land, as well as, oh, there goes Flicker Wisp on this Stoneforge.
Sure. Yeah, this is kind of in the how is Jeff going to finish this game off and how long is it going to take
sure.
mode here.
It's pretty much over.
You bought your first duels, 2 Tropical Islands, man.
Awesome.
It's buy Magic cards day.
Welcome
I
to
didn't
the
realize.
Legacy.
Yeah.
Legacy side of things.
What are you going to use those 2 Trops for? What is the end goal? What is the deck of choice? Hour of Devastation, Nissa Genesis Mage. Yeah. So it's one of the Nissa Planeswalker decks. Those are great to play against each other. Especially when you're just starting out. They're fairly balanced often. He didn't buy Tundras, so you
No
used Travis
Tundras.
Soul. All right, so Jeff is going to take that.
Jeff takes that game.
We're going to transition over
match.
to our other match here where we're on game 2, I think. TJ taking game 1 earlier.
And Magus of the Moon coming in, doing some work on TJ's board. He has 2 mountains and a Sylvan Library in play. Chalice on 1 and 2 now.
I like it. Infect into Canadian Threshold. Infect being a kind of an affordable deck that
Definitely.
is sneakily good.
Yeah, it can definitely win some matches.
And Canadian Threshold's fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah. Hard deck to play. It takes a lot to play that deck properly.
Not as hard as there's harder decks.
There are
How about
harder
that?
decks,
Yeah.
but your margins are very thin.
Yeah.
Like you have to really think ahead, and I like that in Magic decks.
Right. Instead of a deck that just plays itself, kind of.
Right,
Or
yeah.
I reanimated the thing. I
Right,
won.
yeah.
Or I
Yeah.
didn't reanimate the thing, and I didn't win.
Or yeah.
Yep, I really like
Yeah, lots of interaction.
Rug Delver decks or Bug Delver decks back in the day. 6. I'm not quite sure how you have multiple. Oh, we've got a Magus of the Moon. I was going to say,
do.
how did you
Yeah.
just City of Traders into City of Traders?
Yeah. We have Magus of the Moon into a Chandra revealing another city, which will be exiled.
Wait a minute. It's Canadian Threshold because it was a Canadian deck, right? The Team Canada
Yeah.
was playing it at the
Yeah.
time. And then you had a Team America deck at the time as well.
Yep.
Back when Legacy decks were named much cooler than they are today.
I miss the breakfast naming conventions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some good ones out there. The Nick Fit and the Dead Guy Ales. Those are I like those names.
And Confluence gets Force Willed.
Sure. It looks like Kevin's going to take this one. Here again.
It's looking like a good spot.
Magus of the Moon, making all of TJ's lands basic mountains. Chalice is preventing him from doing just about anything. Yeah.
And
he's
scoops it up.
Just going to pick it up. All right, so I'm pretty sure that was game 2 for them. Let's find out here. I mean, we'll see, obviously. We'll discover together.
A desert deck.
He's playing Parfait.
Ah. Tricks isn't for kids.
Yeah,
True.
right? The deck?
Yep. The deck.
Yeah, that's from some time ago.
That is from a long time ago.
Let's see, we've still got a little while for this round, for this game 3 here, as these guys mulligan sideboard for game 3, where TJ will be on the play. And then after this, I might try and get another draft in.
Yeah.
We might see if
Keep that iconic Masters one round
these
one
Legacy
round draft
players,
going.
as they finish, want to. Well, we'll do a full 3 rounds probably.
Full 3. Living large.
Yeah, it was great. I enjoy it. I'm gonna try and get the 1 round draft thing to happen more often, so I get to draft. The foils are working for me in this set. It's a nice foiling process. compared to some of the old.
Full English breakfast. There we go. Yep.
You need survival to be unbanned. Could survival of the fittest be unbanned in Legacy, do you think? Like would it be?
I don't think so. I think it just does too much too quickly. And you have cards like Vengevine and Rootwalla to get. I don't see that being unbanned
It's
anytime
never happening.
soon. No. And it's only going to get better, right? Like every
Yeah.
time more creatures are put out, like it gets better.
Right.
So we've got Kalidas versus Tsunami, the Wave, with a Japanese Imperial flag background.
It's really intense, is what it is. You look at that for as long as I've been looking at it, and it's time for a break, is what it is. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Toolboxes only get better with time.
For the same reason why Birthing Pod might never get unbanned from Modern, right?
Yeah. Although Birthing Pod in Modern, I think, is less of a problem. Although that is the same reasoning, but yeah, similar.
It restricts some of the things that they can do, and it seems like Wizards doesn't want to take into account Eternal formats, right?
Right.
When they're making standard
Yeah.
cards, but they kind of have to,
Right.
because they've gotten hit so hard from it. The Battle of the 80s Metal Cover. Kalidas, that's what he's doing. He's rocking out. Yeah, of course.
Hey, he's got his skull helmet on. Like, it's good to go. Yeah, Green Sun Zenith is another card like that really gets better the more green creatures are printed, right? And it's a toolbox card that really...
I'm not sure if Green Sun would see much play if it wasn't for Dryad Arbor.
Or Deathrite.
Well, yeah, but it's slow enough that going for a Deathrite is fine, right? But it's not what your plan A is usually.
Yeah.
But being able to ramp and go get something is what really puts Green Sun over the edge.
Sure.
If Dryad Arbor wasn't a green creature, would we see Green Sun Zenith in decks?
Hard to say.
It does see some play in decks without Green Sun Zenith, so okay, maybe we would, but...
All right, looks like we're getting underway here. Misty Cracks fetching, let's see, probably a basic would be my guess to try and play around those Blood Moons a little bit, but it looks like we've got a Underground Sea. Let's see what we got going on from there. This might be into a Deathrite.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of turn 1 Deathrites today.
There it is.
Yep.
Do you think Deathrite is the best one-drop creature printed so far?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what's number 2 on the list of one-drop creatures that are comparable to Deathrite?
Well, obviously Phyrexian Dreadnought.
says Captain QC. Delver of Secrets, I guess, is on that list. No,
Delver's pretty good.
Pretty sure Deathrite's stronger.
Does Gurmag Angler count as a one drop?
Absolutely. A one drop that can't be fatal pushed is what it is, right?
One drop Planeswalker. Yeah, it's kind of like a Jaya Ballard style card, isn't it?
Turn 2 Liliana, just how we drew it up.
Yep.
Norin.
Norin. I love it.
Itty bitty dice. I'm telling you guys, these guys have like really nice sized D6s right next to them.
There's a whole pile right next to that red D20.
Thanks for the follow. Join us for some more. We do a whole bunch of different Magic on different days. Switch it up. This is Legacy, which if you're just getting started, this is kind of us old guys who
little daunting to get into right away.
Have been playing Magic for quite some time. But we've got Kyra and Patrick who have been doing some Standard. They've been streaming some Standard Magic Online. They stream Paper Standard on Mondays.
Blood Moon comes down.
That's all right. It could, depending on what happens with this Liliana.
Already an answer in play with that Liliana if it gets to ultimate. But we'll see what happens. Deathrite doesn't have anything in the yard to get rid of. Misty's already gone.
Rolling Earthquake.
Pithing Needle comes in.
He named something. Attack for 1. Take it. Kevin's down to 19.
Deathrite doing its best Squire impersonation right here.
I'm going to attack. Ooh. Is this what he wanted to see right here? He's got 4 mana.
If he named that Chandra, maybe it's not.
Right?
It depends on what he named. There are so many different 4 mana planeswalkers in this deck. There's Koth, there's 2 forms of Chandra.
He's writing it down on a post-it note for us, but it's really small writing.
Teeny tiny.
It says... I can't read it.
Well, Chandra's in play, and I don't think that would happen necessarily.
There's a dice we can actually see.
Hey! We got some big dice going. Oh, Kill Panic. Hundreds of dollars. Oh.
Yeah. Heck, I remember
if only they were still only hundreds of dollars.
I considered buying some power back in the day, but hundreds of dollars was a lot for me back then.
Yeah. You know, it's hard to believe how much those cards have rocketed.
Oh, right. Or how about beta duels?
Yeah, exactly.
Those have rocketed at a higher rate, I believe. So, Chandra is +1, the top ability. Exile the top card of your library. You may cast that card. If you don't, Chandra deals 2 damage to each opponent, right? He didn't activate his Chandra, so it must have been Pithing Needled correctly.
It might be.
He didn't do anything with it. He didn't pick it up at all.
Perhaps Kevin figured that having it in play was a little bit better versus Chandra than just waiting for it to be picked off.
Yeah. Putting more permanents out there so that if Liliana ultimates, you have some choices, I guess.
Now, TJ made kind of an interesting play last turn. He plussed his Liliana, pitched his Wasteland, and then used the Deathrite activation in order to get a Termagoyf into play. And I thought that was very,
nice.
very clever
to
get around the Blood Moon that way. So, that Chandra must be named as TJ seems perfectly happy going after Kevin's life total.
And you can see why Kevin's mannerisms when he played it too. He wasn't like, haha, Spirit Guide, Chandra, da. It was kind of like, oh, well,
definitely.
I'm not going to, if these cards just sit in my hand, they're going to, okay. Put it out there for bridge too. They were just going to, if you played the Spirit Guide, it would have gotten destroyed. If you played Chandra, nothing happens. He was just going to be discarding those cards anyway though, so.
So now we see Lily that's able to ultimate whenever necessary. And Kevin's really trying to hit a bridge.
Yeah.
But even if he does hit a bridge, likely it's not going to stay around for very long.
I'm going to keep this card in my hand so you can make me discard it. This card's an unlimited value. That feels sad.
Deathrite activates. And another Termagoyf enters.
Probably has to tap one more land somehow for that, but I don't think it really matters. Pretty sure that Goyf costs 2.
Goyfs usually do cost 2.
If this game was closer, I would have corrected that, but as you can see, nothing's getting tapped with that mana anyway. Lily up to 8. There's no real reason to ultimate. You just make... Okay, he's gonna
do an ultimate.
Blood Moon versus
and
things.
Mox versus the rest.
Oh, you can have a Blood Moon and a Mox or the rest, looks like. I think this is safe to put
I think that's a pretty easy choice.
Okay. And we got an attack for the lethal here anyway,
So-
don't we?
Let's see. We've got enchantment artifact land, instant sorcery, and presumably creature from
So that's a reason to activate
Yep.
the Liliana then, right? Is to make
Sure.
make your Gwith
Yeah.
lethal. There it is.
there we go.
And Kevin shows he drew Chrome Mox, land there was as he was needing anything but all those cards. So TJ takes that down. He goes 3-0, I believe.
Yeah.
And
Sultai getting it done.
that's 3 rounds for us here. That's going to finish us up for Friday Night Magic for some Legacy. I've mentioned briefly, but we've got... Normally we have Standard being streamed on Mondays, paper Standard. And then I'm back here with Kyer on Tuesdays for some more Legacy, for 4 rounds of Legacy. Brian and I have been streaming some Magic Online, some Legacy. We'll do that probably Monday and Wednesday.
That's right. You guys were playing Nyx Fit.
Yeah, we were playing some kind of tier 2, tier 3-ish Legacy decks, and I was making all the mistakes. It was a great time. Chat was telling me everything I was doing wrong, and sure enough, I was. It's been a while since I played Magic Online, and it's weird how different it is when you're in a different mindset of
You know, it
misclicking
really
and
is.
don't
Yeah.
click. So we're gonna finish it up here tonight. That'll do it for us. Join us for next time, and I'm gonna go try and do a draft.
Wonderful.
Let's go.
Let's go play some Magic.
Playing is a way. Yeah. It was more like throwing games. I think Brian was a little upset at me because I almost came back and went 3-2 with that. I'm still harping on it too. If I had just played the other card, maybe I would have won. All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.